welcome back to the Scale Smart podcast. I'm your host, Jacob, and also the founder of Next Scale Growth. Today, I have the pleasure of being joined by the CEO and owner of CorePartners, Peter Oykhman. Peter, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for inviting me.
So, Peter, start me off. Tell me a little bit more about yourself, your experience, and what you guys do at CorePartners.
Sure. So I'm kind of old in IT. From IT point of view, I started my career 90 or 98 to be exact. So I started with a punch card. So I've been through all kinds of IT stuff. We started Core Partners around 2003. We've been focusing on software development, mostly around logistics. That's what gives us an edge, this specialty.
And what do you guys specialize in at CorePartners?
Most of the stuff we do, again, it's very special. It's only couple areas what we really kind of playing with. It's logistics, and it's a commercial and government. We actually do government logistics here in the US and overseas. We also do a little bit of we have our own product. It's called the Core IMS, and we do all kinds of customization around this product. We're also an SAP partner, and we do some SAP supply chain management, and again, supply chain management, logistics, manufacturing execution, digital manufacturing, that sort of things. So that's a main focus. We do a little bit of this learning management, but that's a sort of a side track from logistics. And I can tell you why. It's basically we got into a large implementations in the Middle East, and we had to teach people, about our product, about what we do. And we found that it's a much more beneficial, structured approach. And that's how we started with our learning management.
And Peter, with CorePartners delivering over 700 implementation projects across logistics, inventory, and warehouse management. What have been some of the key challenges in scaling the operations while trying to maintain that quality?
Yeah, well, that's an excellent question, and I think it's a challenge for any company. And we're still a small business. I think we have about 200 people right now, but it's you're getting into a large scale project, right? And usually you have to scale up. This project will, active phase will end at some point, so you will have to scale down. That's the unpleasant part, because you cannot keep the same people. Again, smaller projects, you would maintain the same number of people throughout, and we got a core team. But if you're getting into a large scale implementations with few dozens sites and hundreds people to train, you have to scale up pretty quick. And then it's unfortunately that's the unpleasant part of the business. You have to scale up, you have to scale down. So, but again, that's the nature of this business. But large projects are actually very interesting, and gives you a completely different perspective on logistics, and different perspective on the development and everything. Just when you're dealing with, for example, warehouses like 2 million square feet facilities, or we are dealing with military installations with 50 warehouses, and some of them have internet, some of them don't, some of them connected, some of them, that gives you appreciation of what you have in the US. That like everybody has internet, everybody has like internet. What are you talking about? Like just go to your phone and make it a hotspot anywhere.
And I think as well, what I noticed with businesses growing, scaling, is a lot of them think, how can I get as many clients in the door as possible? And they don't actually think about delivering a quality service. And you can bring in 1,000 clients, but if you're not delivering a good quality service to them 1,000 clients, the churn of them, let's say 700 clients, is going to cost you a lot more.
No, you're absolutely right. Kind of maintaining the same level of service. Our solution is we have an internal infrastructure, and we're also every year we're certifying for this ISO 9000, for example. Some people kind of are not paying attention to this ISO 9000 or NIST, for example, 800-53. So you have to implement policies company wide that actually will maintain the same level of service, the same level of quality, regardless. It's like, yeah, you're aiding people, but you're kind of plugging them in already into existing infrastructure. That's what's making it. I've been doing it for a long time, but if you don't have an infrastructure, your service, it's not bad, it's just unpredictable.
And I think the tech industry is constantly evolving as well, Peter. I don't know if you agree with that. So, where do you see the future of the industry heading, and how are core partners shifting to make sure you're always staying ahead of the competitive market?
This is my favorite. This is 5-inch floppy. So I still have it on my wall. It's just like, I don't have a punch card, but I probably should. So yes, you're absolutely right. The IT industry is always interesting. It's always keeping you, if you want to, it will keep you entertained for a long time. Unfortunately, for IT industry, it also has cycles. For example, I remember this, excitement cycle, before .com crashed. Like, companies were popping up, and you're too young to remember, but you probably were born after that. I remember that, like, everybody was creating a company. You have an idea, the investors will give you money, and nobody was counting this money and just for anything. The strange part is that people intend to forget that a lot of companies we have right now also kind of attached to that. Like, good example is Amazon, Google. They grew up on that, but a lot of companies died. We actually started the logistics, funny enough, before .com crashed. We had nothing to do with logistics. I mean, we were doing just custom projects. .com crashed and nobody wanted to do a software development anymore. But we had a customer who essentially, with all this crash, went belly up, and we end up with a product, and which was a warehouse management product. And we just didn't know anything better. Nobody's buying a software development, so we decided to start selling the product. It's just pure, it could be anything, but it was a warehouse management product. And I learned about the logistics and start selling this warehouse management product. And that's essentially how I got involved in logistics. But it's a cycles. With all fairness, right now we're going through another, with all this AI and everything, we're going through another cycle where everything is going up and everything is very exciting. Yeah, when people are saying, "Oh, we've never seen anything like that before," it's like, yeah, we did. It's just a different kind of different applications, but we did. So my perspective, I mean, my personal is software development is very exciting. If you want it to be exciting, it's going through the cycles. And I remember that when Java first were introduced, everybody's like, yeah, Java will replace everything. That will be a solution. It's like Java will be everywhere, right? And assign microsystems and Java, and it's like that's a solution for every possible problem. That's the same thing. Like, people are saying, oh, AI, now it's a solution for everything. No, it's not.
Yeah, yeah. And Peter, if you could tell yourself if you could tell yourself one thing what you know now, let's say 20 years ago, what would that be?
Honestly speaking, the best kind of advice, I would say, figure out how to deal with the stress, which actually, this is how I started my other company about 3 years ago. SciTech VR, that were dealing with various forms of anxiety in the virtual reality. You have to figure out how to deal with the stress, because any business, any small business, it's a lot of stress. That's on one hand, that's natural, but IT specifically is super prone to the stress, because people who are involved in this, my experience, a lot of them are more emotional, creative, emotional. Yeah, dealing with the stress. If I would learn about it, or figure out that earlier, I probably wouldn't. Um, you know, I wouldn't be divorced right now. But yeah, it's a stress. I think that's a huge thing uh, that you just have to learn how to deal with that. It has nothing to do with IT and everything to do with IT. Because if we will learn how to behave better and smarter, that would affect everyone around you as well.
And what are some of the goals you've got for Core Partners Pizza in terms of scaling and growing?
Yeah, well, we're actually growing pretty well. Of course, I wanted to grow faster. The problem with that is, especially right now, you have to figure out where to. Because, like, for example, AI, every day, like, I have a 10 emails, like, AI experts. Yeah, AI expert, means nothing. So I would say that um, we've been doing AI for at least like 15 years. And when people start telling me, so like, yeah, I mean, we were HP partner when HP created this, chatbots, and I think it was super interesting, super exciting. HPE actually, not HP. So I think AI, we're implementing three different AIs in our warehouse management system right now. We already got two in place and implementing the third one. That would affect people we're dealing with, where they could actually we've been using BI, and you could see the trends, but to make it smarter, like for example, we're using AI for our voice speaking. Again, you're talking, it will go to the cloud, get analyzed, speech to text, text to speech. That's perfect.
Hmm.
We're also doing a directed operations using AI. So again, that will make system smarter, and that will make people's lives, much better and much more
Yeah,
effective.
yeah.
But again, you have to figure out where actually it works, how it actually helps people in their everyday activities. I'm using ChatGPT all the time, like writing emails, and like me and everybody else. This is a perfect example, but in real life, it doesn't start or ends with writing documents or emails. So figuring out where it works, where it doesn't work, I think that would take us the next 5 years to figure out, what to do with that and how to do this.
And if people wanted to reach out to you, Peter, find out a little bit more about yourself or Core Partners, where's the best place for them to do that?
It's very, I'm a simple guy. I got my email is very simple. It's peter@corepartners.com. Just email me and I will answer. And again, I'm trying to make my life at this point. I'm trying to make my life, simple. Send me an email if I'm interested. I'll talk to you.
Yeah, amazing. Well, Peter, thank you for joining me today. It's been great chatting.
Thank you. Thank you.